Hi everyone. Hi, good evening. Hi guys, good evening. Hi. Hi guys, good evening. Hi. Hi everyone. I'm good. How are you? How are you guys? Hi everyone. Hi guys. Hi everyone. Okay, I think we can start. Hi everyone, my name is Kekuchina and I'm the regional trainer for Sephora India. Today I'm very excited because we are actually going to be talking about Sephora Collection, which I feel is like the heart and soul of Sephora as a brand. And yeah, we are going to be talking about the latest beauty trends that is happening, and I'm going to take you guys through the CTM routine, which is your cleansing, toning, moisturizing, and then begin with a very simple, easy to do makeup look that you can do on a regular basis. So to begin with, yeah, someone's asking what special offer today. We are going to be talking about Sephora Collection. So as I think most of you are aware, in Sephora we have different brands as well. We have exclusive brands and selective brands, but today I'm going to be talking about Sephora Collection. So I'm starting with my skincare, and then I'm going to go ahead with my makeup routine. So I'm bare face. I haven't done anything to my face. I have just cleansed my face using the Prebiotic cleanser, and I'm going to start with my CTM routine. So this is a cleanser. It's a gel based face wash. It is something that is suitable for all skin type, even people who have combination oily skin, people who have normal to dry skin. And most of the products, if you see from the Sephora collection, we really believe in making sure that we are formulating our products using as clean formula as possible, as clean ingredients as possible. That's why if you see the packaging, it will be mentioned here that this one is 98% from the ingredients are from its natural origin. There's no artificial fragrance, and it's gel based, so even for the people with the most dry skin, or even someone who has really combination oily skin, it is something that you can recommend. So I've used this, I've cleansed my face, and then I'm going to begin with my CTM routine. So after face wash, generally we go in with a toner. Today I'm going to be using the Ultra Glow toner from Sephora collection. If you see here, it's written vitamin C and E, which is vitamin C as an ingredient. I think it's becoming really popular. A lot of people use vitamin C because vitamin C will actually help you with brightening of your skin. It's also going to help you in making sure that your skin is more smoother, more even, and you have vitamin E as well, which is again great as a antioxidant. So when it comes to toner, there are two ways of using it. Either you can use it with your palm, or you can take a cotton. I'm taking a cotton pad today, so I'm just going to put a little bit and just dab it into my skin. So a toner, there are various reasons. Sometimes you get questions asked, is it compulsory, is it necessary to use a toner? For me, I do believe that a toner is just going to help me in prepping my skin. It's just going to make sure that the rest of the products that I'm going to be using is just going to get absorbed into my skin better. So I like using a toner. So this is something which is very lightweight, and I'm just going to press it all over my face like this. You can use your hands, like I said, or you can use a cotton pad. And in case if there's any traces of makeup left behind after washing your face, a toner is also going to help you in removing any traces of it. So I'm done using the toner. I'm just going to let it sit for a while and let it soak into my skin, and then I'm going to go ahead with my serum. This is the one of the iconic serums that we have from the Sephora collection. If you guys haven't checked out Sephora collection products, please do so. This is the Ultra Glow serum from the Sephora collection. This is something that this is something that I have recommended to a lot of people. A lot of people really like it. We have repeat customers as well. And this is a serum. If anyone asks generally what's the difference between a serum and a moisturizer, serum is generally for your targeted concerns. Like if you have any specific concern, you can use a serum according to the result that you want. So this one, which is your Ultra glow serum, which is with vitamin C and E. And the same one that I had used previously was also the toner from the same range, which is the vitamin C and E. So this one, if you see, it's a very lightweighted serum. It's not something, I'm just going to show you guys here first. And if you see, it is really lightweighted. It's going to get easily absorbed by your skin. It's not greasy at all. A lot of times people have this tendency that, you know, sometimes, especially if you have oily or combination skin, a lot of people think that they don't want to, you know, use too many layers or too many products because it's going to make the skin feel more oilier, more heavier. But this is something, I've just used 2 drops and it's easily absorbed already. So there's no like grease at all. It's not at all oily. So I'm going to take again, I think 3 to 4 drops is more than enough. I'm taking a little bit in my palm, just massaging it and just pressing the product into my skin. Yeah, I'm just doing that. And yeah, it has been again easily absorbed by my skin, so there's no traces of, it's not greasy at all. You guys can see it's very lightweight. So I've done that, and then next we move on to the eye part, which is your eye cream. This is the one that I'm using, is the firming eye cream from the Sephora collection. It has peptides. Peptides generally help you with firming and tightening your under eye area. So I'm going to take a little bit of it. Sometimes, you know, we get questions asked by people, should we use eye cream before or after your moisturizer? What I like to do is I like to take a little bit of it and like to use it before my moisturizer. So I do my cleansing, then my toner, then my serum, and then my eye cream, and then I'll go ahead with my moisturizer. So I'm going to take a little bit of it, press it here around the eye. I'm going to do that with the same thing in the other eye as well. And then I'm going to be using my ring finger, which is this, and I'm just going to lightly massage the product into my skin. Generally we use a ring finger, or I recommend using a ring finger because ring finger has the lightest touch, so you're not going to put too much pressure under your eye, but you are also at the same time making sure that, you know, you're massaging the under eye area well, because the skin around your eye area is again 6 to 7 times thinner as compared to the rest of the face. So I do believe that an eye cream is really important to make sure that you are hydrating your under eye area well. So I'm doing that. I've just massaged the product into my skin, and I'm going to wait for like few seconds so that it gets easily absorbed. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take very light pressure and just massage this area, just to make sure that, you know, all the products are getting easily absorbed into your skin. Yeah. And that's it. And the last step that we're going to be doing is using your moisturizer, which is again another I would say iconic product, or one of the best selling product that we have from the Sephora collection, which is your all day hydrator. This is something with hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, I think, as compared to your vitamin C, also it's another product or another ingredient which is becoming really popular. Hyaluronic acid will help you with your hydration level. So I'm going to take a little bit of it. And this is the moisturizer that you can recommend to every skin type, be it your combination skin, oily skin, and everyone. Even dry skin, normal skin, you can suggest it to everyone. So I've taken a little bit of it, and I'm just massaging it onto my skin. If you notice, I'm just making sure that when I apply any product, I'm just going in an upward direction, just doing a slight massage as well. And I've just applied this all over my face. And one tip that I would actually suggest is that this one, especially your all day hydrator, can also be used as a makeup primer. We have a lot of people or makeup artists as well who love using this as a primer. So this is like a 2-in-1 product, so you can use it like a moisturizer, you can also use it as a makeup primer. So I've done this. I've just massaged the product into my skin, and if you guys can see here, it's again mentioned that it's unscented, there's no artificial fragrance, and 96% of the ingredients are from its natural origin. When I talk about, products that you have seen, I will always mention 96%, 98%. That means as a brand, we are also moving towards making sure that, our ingredients are very clean. So That's one of the steps that we have taken, and we have made sure that we are mentioning that in the packaging as well. So now I'm done with my CTM routine. I think if you're doing any makeup, be it like, you're going for full glam or you're going for more like a natural look, it's really important to do your CTM routine well, which is your, your regular cleansing, your toning, your moisturizing, because that's just going to help you in making sure that the makeup that you're going to be using is going to be more long lasting, it's going to be more hydrated as well. Okay, so I've done my skin prep, and now let's begin with the fun part, which is your makeup. And today I'm actually going to be doing like a very easy, simple makeup look that you can do when you're going out on a regular basis, when you're going for work, anything like that. I'm just meanwhile checking if there are any questions so that I can answer them as I go ahead with my makeup routine. If there are any questions, you guys can just drop in the text and I'll be more than happy to answer those. So to begin with, I'm starting with the primer. I've done my skin prep. I'm starting with the primer. This is your new Care Collection primer from Sephora Collection. If you see, it's written here, Lock Plus 12-hour Hydrating Primer. I think a primer is important because it's just going to help you in keeping your base long lasting. It could be your concealer you're using, or you're using a foundation. It's just going to make sure that your base is long lasting. A little bit goes a long way. So I've taken a tiny amount. It's gel based texture again. And for me, my problem areas could be here, the T-zone area. Someone is asking, how do you stop your under eye area from getting ashy after foundation? I think the key is to make sure that you are hydrating your skin well, and also to make sure that if you have any deeper concerns, like if you have dark circles, I would suggest correcting that area first using a color corrector, and then going ahead with your concealer and your foundation. A little bit goes a long way. That's my tip that I would suggest to everyone, because sometimes when you end up putting too much product, it can just settle into your lines really quickly, and even if you're using like a setting powder or anything, it might just crease. So the idea is that if you want to avoid, make sure that you're using a foundation or a concealer which is your right skin tone, and not something which is lighter or darker, unless it is to highlight that area. But to match to your skin tone, that would be your first step, and also to make sure that you're prepping your skin well. So the primer that I've used, this is something which is very lightweight. I'm going to take a little bit more, and I'm just going to apply in my other parts of the face. It has a really cooling effect as well. So it has plant-based sugars which are going to help you in locking your makeup. So the main use of a primer, the main, I would say, function of a primer is to keep your base long lasting, like I've mentioned. And then of course, going ahead, there are a lot of other primers in the market which is going to help you in minimizing your pores. If you have concerns of a little bit of color correction that you want, you get primers for that purpose as well. You get primers for, again, making sure that it's more of a smoothing effect, or it's going to give you like a blurring effect. So there are a variety of them in the market, but the one that I've chosen today is all about hydration. So this is going to keep my skin feeling hydrated, so that once I apply my makeup, it's just going to be more, I would say, more hydrated, and it's not going to look really dry or patchy. That's why it's important that when you're doing your makeup, there's a lot of emphasis on making sure that you're using a good, or following a good CTM routine. So I've done my primer. I think I'm gonna begin with my foundation. I am using the Best Skin Ever Glow. So we have two variations in this. We have the Best Skin Ever foundation, which we had launched last year, but this is a new edition. This is the one Glow. If you guess it is right. It's going to give you more like a glowy radiant finish. So I have taken the shade 24N. So we have variety of undertones available, so you can pick and choose regarding what you want, depending on the undertone of your skin. The right way to identify the undertone is to look at your veins. If you have something more of the greenish veins, it's going to be most likely you have a warmer undertone. If you have more in the blue veins, that's going to be more in the cool tone. And if you have a mix of both, you can't identify if it's more looking like more blue or looking more olive or green color, then you have neutral undertone. Someone is asking what to do with puffy eyes. Anything which is massage the dry area, we have tools as well. You can use an ice roller to make sure that you are massaging your eye area well. And also we have products which are going to help you in depuffing. So we have in Sephora Collection, we have hyaluronic acid based eye creams. This is the one with peptides. But we also have the one with hyaluronic acid, and you also have eye mask which is with caffeine, which will help you in depuffing. So you guys, Priyanka, you can definitely check out the Sephora eye sheet mask that we have, which has caffeine in them. So yeah, I'm going to start with the Best Skin Ever Glow. So this one is interesting because it has light reflecting particles. So when I use this, the finish is more like a really radiant, glowy finish. I'm going to take, for me personally, I believe that, not applying too much. If I want to later add more layers, I can, because it's a buildable coverage. So I've taken a tiny pump, one pump, and I'm actually going to be using Sephora Collection brush as well. So this is the Pro brush from the Sephora Collection. This is in the number 56. So for me personally, when I'm applying foundation, I like to focus in this area, which is the center of my face, and then making sure that I blend out towards my other part of the face as well. So I'm going to take a little bit, just applying some dots. This is the key area that I want to focus on, and then I'm going to make sure that I'm blending. So I've just taken one pump, guys, and this is quite a lot of products. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to start blending. So again, if you want to understand what kind of the foundation, which shade you should check, or the one that you should buy, I know it gets a little tricky sometimes, but I would suggest that you come to a Sephora store. We have our staff there to actually help you and guide you to find your right match. And then once you know, you will be able to again easily rebuy it or purchase it again online. But I'm just going to go ahead and just blend it towards the rest of my face. I'm taking the brush 56 from the Pro Collection. I'm first making sure that I'm dabbing this across my face, and then I'm going to go ahead and then use the brush again to make sure that there are no harsh lines. That is something that I would like to avoid. And I'm just pressing the product first into my skin. If you want to, you can always go ahead and use another pump or so to make sure that you are covering your entire face. Never forget to bring it towards your ears, bring it down your neck area, your hairline as well. So I'm just doing that. And this one, the foundation that I'm using, is your Best Skin Glow. This one also comes with Prebiotic. Again, nowadays makeup is something which is, they've really started formulating with great ingredients, and we have ingredients which are going to be beneficial for the skin. They are dermatology tested, so that means they've been tested by a skin doctor. They are non-comedogenic, that means it's not going to clog your pores. So I'm just adding a little bit more, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm blending all of this into my skin. So I'm taking this around my neck area as well, and ears, not to forget that. And for me, I feel personally my area of concern is this, so I would like to focus more on making sure that my foundation is well blended. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. I still have this much which I don't need, so I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to go off camera a little bit with the help of my tool here, and I'm just going to make sure that there are no harsh lines. Like I said before, the foundation is buildable. That means you can go for, add another layer if you're not happy with the coverage, and it's not going to look heavy, it's not going to look cakey at all. So I'm just going ahead, making sure I'm blending all of the foundation well into my skin. So if you want, you can also use a concealer, but for me today, I think I'm not going to use the concealer. I've just used the foundation. As you guys can see, it has light reflecting particles, so it has a little bit of radiance and a glowy finish, and it's medium coverage. So I'm just going to make sure that there are no harsh lines at all. So once I'm done with my foundation, I'm just going to use like a setting powder to set my face, because today I'm going to be using mostly all powder products, so I'm not going to use anything which is, you know, cream or liquid based products. Even my blush is going to be matte finish powder based, so I'm going to quickly now take a brush like this. You can take a fluffy brush like this. I'm using the smoothing and setting powder from Sephora Collection. This is great. It's going to hold your makeup up to 12 hours and there's no flashback. You know, sometimes when you're going out at night, you want to take a selfie and you have to use a ring light. With the help of a ring light, you're using flash, right? Sometimes you can get a little bit of flashback or a white patch, but this one, the setting powder, is just going to help you in smoothing your under eye area or even your entire face, and it's going to help you in locking in your makeup, and at the same time there's no flashback. So this is something which is again non-comedogenic as well. So a fluffy brush like this, just press the product, and I'm just using it to set my base. Like I said, because I'm not using any liquid product or liquid blush or anything, I'm just setting this right now. Otherwise you can use just this and set your under eye area as well. So I'm going ahead using this all over my face. And this product is again non-comedogenic as well, so it's not going to clog your pores. It's been tested by a dermatologist. I'm going back again, taking a little bit of the product, dusting the excess if you want to, and then pressing the product into my skin. And I'm going to do that same thing here as well. So once your base is settled, or once you have secured your base, you can go ahead and apply other products. So I've just done that. Now I'm gonna go ahead with my blush. I'm using the Colourful blush from Sephora, and this one is something, it's the shade called Flirt It Up. I think it's a very pretty shade. It is in matte finish. I like liquid products as well, or liquid blushes, but today I'm opting for something which is more in the powder finish. So I'm taking a brush like this from the Sephora Collection. This is in the shade 47. I'm going to take a little bit of it here, dust off the extra, and I'm going to apply here. So sometimes a lot of people get confused in terms of where do you apply the blush, or the position, how do you position, or how do you place your blush. Sometimes you can take you can use your help of your hand, place like this, and this is the area that you want to focus on, and this is where you will add the blush, because this is just going to give you more like a lifted look. So I'm going back, I'm picking the product up. Little bit goes a long way for me. I personally believe that if I want to, I can always go back and layer. So I take a little bit in the first time, and then you can always add to it. So I'm taking here, I don't know if you guys are able to catch the pigment of the camera from this light, but I'm going ahead, I'm just placing this a little bit more. This is in the shade called Flirt It Up. It's a very pretty shade. I think it's great for like everyday office wear. You want to use it for like you can even use this on your eyelids as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use the product a little bit more. I can totally see the pigment in this light. I don't know if you guys are able to see it here, and just whipping it up across my temple as well here in this area, because I want to give it like more like a lifted look. So this is what I want to place. I'm going ahead and doing the same thing in the other side as well. So this is where I would place, instead of placing it right here, this is where I would place, and I will just make sure that I'm blending that into my skin well. So I'm just going to remove this, go back. So with makeup, it's a lot of it takes time in terms of a lot of blending, just to make sure that you're blending everything together so that it's more symmetrical, there's no harsh lines. So if you want to create like a very flawless base, blending is going to be your best friend. So I'm going back, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm applying a little bit on my nose as well, just to create some balance. And then I'm just placing it here again, so you guys can see the pigment of it. It's a really pretty color. I think this is a color that will suit most skin tones, and it's going to look really great. So I'm just going to go and place the product here again a little bit more. Yeah, yeah, and if you want to, you can always add more if you want. If you're going out at night and you want your colors to be more pigmented, you can definitely add a little bit more, because when it comes to camera, when you are taking photos, if you apply a little bit more, it's helpful because it doesn't actually catch the entire pigment if you're putting a really light coverage. So this is what I have. I'm just making sure that I'm blending it towards my ears as well, just to give it more like a lifted look, and also to make it seem more like I'm blushing from within kind of a look. So just pressing the product into my skin, this is what I like to do. And just a little bit on my nose, tip of my nose, and not to forget the other side as well. So just going ahead and making sure that I've blended all of them together. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go ahead with my bronzer, which is in the matte finish. This is from Sephora Collection again. Like I said, today I'm going to be talking or using only Sephora Collection products. So this is a bronzer we have in two finish. We have in matte and we have in shimmer as well. So I'm just checking if there are any questions. Yes, we have Sephora Best Matte lipsticks as well. We have in bullet and we have in liquid as well. But today I'm going to be using a different collection of lipstick. And I'm just checking. So these ones are the matte bronzers. I am actually going to take a brush like this, and I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm actually going to use this one on my eyes as well. This is a bronzer, but you know the difference between bronzing and contouring is bronzing is when you're adding some warmth to your face, when you want to look like you are more in this, you have more like a sun-kissed look. And contouring is when you're sculpting your face, when you want to change the, slightly alter the shape of your face. But right now I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use a little bit of it, tiny amount. Tap off the extra always, and just place it around my eyes as well, just to give a little bit of definition. So I'm going to go back, use my hand mirror. That would be easier for me, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm placing it right here, just to give it more depth to my eye. And I'm going back, picking the product again, dust off the extra always, and you can go back and make sure that you're blending all of them together. So this is just going to add a little bit more of some depth to your eye area. So you can already see it's already defined, if you can see the color pigment of it. So I'm going back. So I love products which are actually multi-usage. There's one product that you can use in 2-3 ways. I think it's a great value for money. And also, especially when you're traveling and you don't want to carry too many products, it's great to use, or great to have products which are multi-purpose. I'm just checking if there are any more questions which I can answer while I'm getting ready. Someone has asked if how do you understand the undertone. I had explained earlier, but there are 3 undertones. You have your warm undertone, your cool undertone, and your neutral undertone. And the warm undertone is someone who will have more of, if you look at the veins, it's not looking at the face of the person or the skin shade of the person, but by looking at your veins. This is called the vein theory, which is when you look at it, and if you have more of a green color vein, it's going to be most likely you have a warm undertone. If you have more of blue or purplish looking, you have your cool undertone. And if it's like, sometimes you can't really differentiate what color your vein is, so most likely you have a neutral undertone. So that's the right way to actually make sure that you don't have, or you don't end up with like a ashy looking skin, or your skin is going to look more gray after using a foundation. So matching your undertone with your foundation is one of the, I would say, a short ticket to making sure that your foundation is always looking flawless. So I'm going back, adding a little bit more. So we have some great tools. Someone's asking about ice rollers. We have some great tools in Sephora Collection as well. In the Sephora accessories, we have your jade rollers, you have your rose quartz rollers, which you can use with your your serums, your moisturizers, your facial oil, anything, just to massage your face. So this is something, and any of these tools, especially it comes with, you'll see result when you're consistent. especially with skincare. Makeup is really easy because you're using makeup, you're using a foundation or a concealer and setting, or it's covering all your flaws or issues or concerns that you might have. But when it comes to skincare, you have to make sure that you are consistent, you are doing this every single day to see result. Same goes for your tools as well. So I'm going back again, just making sure I'm blending this out. So this is where I would place, and this is like a kind of a look that it's very simple and easy to do, especially if you're going out or you are going out for office and all of that. So I'm going back, taking a little bit of the product here, and I'm going to place it right below my blush, and I'm just going to blend both of them together. So I'm going here, this is the area that I would place my bronzer because I want to look more sun-kissed, and this is the area, my temples as well, that I'm going to be placing. Sorry, I have hair in front of me. Yeah, so I'm going back here, this is where I would place, and just going to make sure that especially when it comes to using like a highlighter, a blush and a bronzer, sometimes you see some really stark lines, but that's your personal choice. But I feel personally that if you blend all of them together, it's going to create more like a smoother canvas, and it's going to look more put together. So I'm going back again and just placing it here, just adding, remember that the point of a bronzer is to add some warmth to your skin. So I'm going back, because when you're using a foundation, it's just flat. So you're adding like a blush, you're adding like a bronzer to warm up your face, to give some shape to your face, to give some color to your face. So I'm going back and doing the same thing here around my temples. A little bit goes a long way. If you want to add more, you can always do that. And going back here again, taking the same thing, and I'm going to do it on the other side of my face here. This is where I would add, and just again, if you see, I'm blending my my blush and my bronzer together because I like to make it look more seamless. And going back, trying to cut my double chin right now, but yeah, you can add this below your neckline as well to sharpen up or to make your jawline more prominent. You can go back again, use the same one, and just make sure when you're doing this, blending is really important because you don't want any harsh lines. And just making sure that like I said, to create like a flawless base, so you don't need too many products, just making sure that you're blending it right, that's the key. So again, going back here and doing the same thing here, and I'm going back, taking a little bit of product around my hairline so that I don't want any kind of like stark difference. That is something that I like to always avoid. And going back here, adding some more. I'm just checking if there are any more questions which I can answer. If you guys have any questions, you guys can always ask me right now. For anyone asking, someone has asked, yes, I'm using everything from Sephora Collection. Which shade you are using? I'm using the shade, if you're asking about the foundation, my shade is 24N, which is your neutral undertone, and this is in the number 24. And for the blush, it's called Flirt It Up. This is the matte one. And for the bronzer, we have two finish, the matte one and the shimmery one. I'm using the matte one. So this is the same product that I've used on my eyes as well. I'm using all over my face just to give a bit more of warmth. Going back and forth again, and if you have like a smaller brush like this, you can take the same product and you can contour your nose. So I'm just going to go ahead, pick up the product. Sorry, one second. I'm going to go ahead, pick up the product here, and I'm just going to make sure that you go with a very light hand and create like a shadow so that you have the illusion of like a sharper nose. Again, pick up a little bit of the product and go ahead and do this the other side as well, just to create like an illusion of a sharper nose. And this is just something going back and forth. You can use a cream based product, you can use a liquid based product. If you have foundations or concealers which are darker than your skin tone, you can use that to contour your face, you can use that to contour your nose as well. So today I'm going ahead with a matte finish powder, the bronzer, and I've used that on my face. I'm using that to contour my nose as well, just to give it more like a sharpened look. And just going to make sure I'm blending this way and here as well. So going back and forth, picking as much product as you want, dab off the excess, and just here placing it to make sure that's looking more put together. So yeah, the illusion of it. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead with, I have a really beautiful palette with me. It's called the Pocket palette from the Sephora Collection. There's no magnet, there's no mirror in them, so these are easily recyclable material, and for the price of 1500 you are getting 6 different beautiful shades. You can see these ones are all colors which are really versatile. You can mix them up, you can create like a very interesting makeup look, or you want to go for more subtle, more everyday, you have color palettes like this. So this is something that you can use on your eyes. Again, you can mix and match. I'm going to use a little bit of this on my eyes today, so I'm going to go back with my brush, pick up this shade which is the brown one, because I've used a little bit of brown before. I'm going to go back again because there's no mirror, so I'm going to use this and place it in my eye area here, just to add some more definition. You guys can see there's a stark difference, and just making sure that I'm blending all of them together. You know, when it comes to eye makeup as well, to create like a good looking pair of eyes, I would say you have to make sure that you're blending all of them together. So I've taken a little bit extra, so I'm just tapping it off. Never blow on your brushes, even if it's for personal use, because that's a little unhygienic, and that's something that we don't want to practice. So I'm going back, placing the product here again, making sure that I'm all blending it together well, because I don't want like really stark colors, but I want like a very light control. So this is something that I do. I go back again with a brush, a fluffy brush like this, and I'm going to just make sure that I'm blending all of them out. If you want to place your colors on your eyeshadows, or on your eyes, sorry, then you can actually use like a flatter brush and place the product into your eyes. This is not going to make it move, but right now I'm using a fluffy brush to just blend everything out. So I'm going back and forth with this. You can see there's a lot more definition in my eye area, and if you want to clean the edges up, you can always take a cleaner brush and just go back and forth. This is just going to make sure that you're blending everything out together really well. So I'm just checking if there are any more questions. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you guys can just drop it right now as well. And I'm just gonna go check if there are more questions. Yeah, so I've done this, and I'm gonna go and pick up I think I'll pick up a shimmer shade, one of these shades, and I think I'm gonna go for this, the coppery color. This is like the, sorry, this is the pigment. It's just one swatch, guys. This is really pigmented. Pocket palette is a great addition to have in your vanity kit. And I'm just placing this right here. So with shimmers, I like using my fingertips as well. I use brushes as well, but right now I'm just going to go ahead with my fingers, and I'm just placing it here to add a little bit more of definition. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I blend that together well with my brush. So I'm taking the same thing, I'm going to place it around this eye as well. With this particular shimmer from the Pocket palette, there are no fallouts. Otherwise, if you're using glitter, my suggestion would be that do your eyes first, and in case there are any fallout, you can wipe it and then do your base. Otherwise, it becomes like a hassle, because if you have fallout, then you have to remove your concealer, your foundation, everything that you have done. So yeah, so this is what I'm doing. I'm going ahead and just placing it here. You guys can see the pigment, and I'm gonna go back with my brush, like a fluffy brush again, and make sure that I'm blending them all together so that there are no harsh lines as well again. So So just going back, you can take a transition color to just blend all of them together. So I'm going back with the matte bronzer that I had used earlier. So I'm going to take it, dust it off, just place it around this area again. So I'm going to go back, use this. Just making sure that there are no harsh lines. You want to go back and forth to just ensure that there are no harsh lines. So this is something that I do all the time. That's when I think that's why it takes me some time at times if I'm doing like a little dramatic eye makeup look, because I spend a lot of time making sure that everything is blended together well. So I'm going back and forth, doing the same thing on the other eye as well. And then you can use a liner. So we have this beautiful liner from Sephora Collection. I'm just trying to grab that. So this is your waterproof eyeliner. This is 12-hour wear, and this is in felt tip. When I say felt tip, this is the, can you see the intensity of it? It is really intense. It is waterproof, so it's jet black as well. So you can use, like, a little bit goes a long way, especially for people who are beginners. I think if you're trying to learn how to do a wing liner, a felt tip brush is really helpful because it's in like a sketch form. So you know, you can it's a great tool to like practice your wing liner. So today I'm going to go ahead with a very thin liner. I'm not going for like anything dramatic. So this is something that I generally do on a regular basis. Unless I'm going out at night, I want something a bit more intense, I can do that. But today, right now, I'm just going to go with a very thin line. So this is where I would place my liner. Everyone's eye shape is different, especially if you're doing it on someone else. It's easier to make sure that, you know, you're looking right into the camera if you're doing it on yourself, and it's easier to like draw the lines. And I would say start with a very not a very strong wing when you're trying it for the first time, and go with like a shorter strokes to create more like a neater look. So I'm going back, just using this. You can see the intensity of it. It's really so this is like a very tiny wing. I'm going to do that in the other eye as well. You can go ahead and actually do this in your entire, like, cover your entire eyelid. But I like, nowadays I've started liking like a very tiny wing like this. I feel like it gives me more like a illusion of, like, you know, a foxy eye look. So this is something that I like to do. I'm just going to make sure I'm cleaning the edges to make sure that the wings are more sharper. Yeah. And then you can go ahead with the mascara. So we have the Big by Definition mascara. It's a vegan mascara again, and the name Big by Definition, you know, it's going to give you a lot of volume. It's going to give you a lot of density. So I'm going to go back. With mascaras, the trick is that, you know, you want to make sure that you're coating all of your lashes well. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one to create like, go from the below, and then you can use in a zigzag motion to coat all your lashes. I'm going ahead and doing the same thing. Okay, and then last but not the least, my favorite part is to apply your lipstick. So someone was asking about the matte lipsticks. We have matte lipsticks in a bullet form. We also have matte lipsticks, which is the cream lip stain, which is one of the most popular collections that we have from the Sephora collection. It's a really comfortable matte liquid lipstick. They have vitamin E in them and also your avocado oil, so it's comfortable on your lips as well, and at the same time it's a proper matte finish, so it's not going to, you know, it's transfer resistant as well. But today I'm going to be using the number 5 from the Rouge Is Not My Name collection, and it has ceramides, it has oil, so it's going to be very comfortable on the lips. It's not going to feel, you know, you are not going to feel that dryness or the very extreme matte feeling. Sometimes some people prefer using like a satin or more of lipsticks which are more comfortable and not really like a matte lipstick. So this is something that you should check it out. It's in the shade number 5. And I'm just checking if there are any more questions. Just 1 second. So this is the color. I'm gonna swatch it here. It's a very pretty pink color. I think it's great for everyday sort of wear. So I'm gonna take this. You can use a lip pencil as well if you want to define your lips a bit more, but I'm going directly ahead with the lipstick today. So I'm just gonna take a little lid. So yeah, this is the color. This is called this is the name, the foundation, sorry, the collection name is called Rouge Is Not My Name, and this is in the shade 05. So this is the entire look. It's, I think, really simple and easy to create. I've done the CTM routine in the beginning. Please make sure that you're using or following a good CTM routine to ensure that your base, your makeup will be more long lasting, and it is something which is going to be easier and it's going to be more comfortable. But with time, you don't want your foundation to start looking ashy, or you don't want your foundations to start looking really heavy. So making sure that you're following a good CTM routine, it's really important. So I'm just going to ask, if someone is asking, it has different shades. Yes, we have different varieties of shades. You can easily pick and choose depending on what color you're looking for. If you're asking for the lipstick, the one that I have on my lips right now is called 05. It's from the Rouge Is Not My Name. That's the collection name, and it has oils and ceramides, so it's not matte finish, but it's really comfortable on the lips. And I am just checking. Someone is asking, can we get dusky skin girls? If you're asking foundations, we have a lot of variety for people with dusky skin as well, so you guys can definitely check it out. We have a wide variety of collection in terms of the foundation, even from the Best Skin Ever Glow range, or even from the Best Skin Ever foundation range that we have from previous collection. So if someone is asking, should a concealer be lighter shade than your foundation? It depends. If you're using a concealer which is to match your skin tone, it should be your right one. But if you want using a concealer to highlight after your foundation, then you can go a shade or two lighter, just to highlight that area. Someone is asking about the blush. I've used the shade Flirt It Up. I'm just trying to locate the blush right now. Yeah, found it. This is called Flirt It Up. This is in the matte finish, and this is what it looks like. I think it's a really pretty color that you can use on your eyes. You can use it on your cheeks as well, so it's multi-purpose. So this is in the matte finish. We have colorful blushes in shimmer as well, so depending on your choice. Sometimes some people like a little bit of shimmer in the blush, so you can go for that as well. I'm just checking if there are any more questions. Otherwise, thank you so much. This is the look that I wanted to create, and at the same time talk about the different products that we have from Sephora Collection. So I've spoken about the skincare routine because I've started with that. So I started with my face wash, then I went ahead with my toner, with my serum, with my under eye cream as well, and also my moisturizer, and then I started with my makeup. So yeah, definitely check out your nearest Sephora store. We have 26 stores in India, and you can also check out online and pick your favorite products. So thank you so much for joining in, guys. Thank you. Have a lovely evening. All right, bye guys.